Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, it's Rudol's Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be playing in the Tier 10 British Tech Tree Tank Destroyer, the FV215B 183. This vehicle has gone full circle. When the 183 was first released into the game, it was actually a really strong tank, and considered by many people, too strong. It featured base .326 dispersion, over 300 mils a pen, and not only that, but camo values that were better than vehicles like the Grill 15. It was just a really stupid tank. However, Wargaming mega nerfed the vehicle, and it's slowly been clawing its way back up to the top. In my latest tier list, I ranked the 183 in the overpowered category, and the reasons why are pretty simple. Wargaming has simply over-buffed this tank. They keep buffing its gun, they keep buffing its mobility, and they've buffed its camo to a point now where I actually think the 183 is an insanely scary tank that you should actually be quite nervous about going up against. Why? Well, first of all, with the refined gun buffs, a fully aimed-in 183 has .34 dispersion. That is the same as an IS-4, an Object 260, and a VZ-55. That's not inaccurate when you realize that this tank deals 950 damage. Wargaming buffed the pen, especially on the AP with the calibrated shells buff. So the AP now has 324 mils of pen, which is basically the same as the OG 183. And the vehicle now has standard HE, which does 1400 damage on a penetrating high explosive, basically enough to ruin anything's day in front of you. Not only that, the 183 reaches a top speed of 38 with a power to weight ratio of 16.3, meaning that this is actually a rather fast tank. Honestly, the 183 is just a stupid vehicle now. Wargaming has 100% overbuffed the vehicle to a point where it is able to get away with kind of whatever it wants. Now yes, it still falls apart very quickly. I'm not here saying that the 183 is an uncounterable tank. It is very easy to counter. It reverses at 12, it has poor track wheels, and while its armor is very annoyingly troll, it is still pretty bad. So it's not a hard tank to necessarily kill. The problem is, it is a hard tank to kill as long as you drive it within 10 feet of cover. And that's where the 183 becomes a rat. You're going to watch me play this game here on Faust, and you're going to see just exactly what I'm talking about with the 183 and its stupid output of damage and capabilities. Not to mention the camo values were also buffed on this vehicle because Wargaming buffed CamoNet for all tank destroyers. So they buffed the pen, they buffed the camo, they buffed the accuracy, and the tank still has 3,000 damage per minute. But technically it's closer to 4,000 damage per minute because you have to remember you have a shell loaded when you start the game. So I can shoot that Luis for 966 damage right through the turret, and then if he were to rush me, I would already have a shell by the time he got here and I'd two-shot his full tank. Isn't that fair though? That player must have really enjoyed getting shot by a 183 for over half of his health without even trying. Well, that's my first shot of the game. We have an Object 268 right in the open. We're going to aim it on the lower plate of the 268. Unfortunately, the shell goes a little bit too high, and we only end up dealing 400 damage, but 2 shots, and I've done 1,362. That's a little stupid when you think about it. Alright, well, I'm going to climb back up this hill. We've got the Luis off to the side. I'm going to wait for my SU-122 to push him off, and then I can move up myself, and we'll see if I can get any shells out here. There is an enemy Caro 45-ton, and I know that this Caro is going to poke it at some point. It's just a fact. Like, the 50B is backing up. He's showing his entire tank to the side of that Caro, and the Caro's probably thinking, man, I want to shoot that 50B. So I know eventually he's going to poke. There you go. 898 damage. So, 2 pens, 2,260 damage, and then a 300 damage high explosive. Okay, well, that means we only need one more AP shell, and we'll be sitting at 3,000 damage. That's right, 3 shots and 3,000 damage. Really skill-based, right? Well, there's my third shot. Camo values are buffed on this tank, so that 268 had a hard time actually seeing me. In fact, I wasn't spotted. That was a blind shot from the 268. I wasn't spotted until I shot. I want you to think about that. Why does this tank have that good camo? It doesn't make sense, but it does. So we're at 3,500 so far. And we're going to load in a high explosive shell for this AMX 50B. Where is the 50B? Well, there's the 268. I was tempted to shoot him, but I know that the 50B is somewhere over here. There he is. We're going to fire a standard HE. Unfortunately, it goes a little too high, but hey, still rolls 724. That's more alpha damage than every other tank destroyer apart from a Yag, so I really can't get all too mad. We've got a BZ-75 in mid, and now we're going to push that BZ. Remember how I was talking about the mobility? Look at how fast this thing is. We're chilling at 38 kilometers per hour right now. This is a tank that should not be fast. So I was thinking to myself, I'm going to aim in right on the BZ-75's ammo rack because this vehicle has a very poor ammo rack, and bonk! There you go. 1,560 damage. And just like that, I did 5,822 damage. Yep, just like that. Took literally 1 second, and that's what the 183 does. I mean, it's not an ace, obviously, because every single player and their mother uses the tank, so it's only a first class for 6,000 damage. We made 93,000 credits, and obviously finished top on that team. You can start to understand why I think the 183 is a little stupid. My personal problem, as I've said many times in the past with the 183, is that it's specifically designed to ruin the fun of other players. Like, obviously, every tank you drive, you're meant to kill other tanks. But it's the way that this vehicle does that. You can be playing a really good game and not be making any mistakes, and a 183 in some random spot, nobody would ever predict, wham, 1,200 health off your vehicle. It's happened to me a lot. It's happened to a lot of people, a lot. And it's just really annoying because you can be having one of the best games you've ever had and then instantly have all of that taken away with one tank sitting in one spot that you could not and would not have been able to predict. And that's why I don't like this tank, because I think the idea of it is meant to ruin the fun and plays of other people. I feel like a tank game, you're supposed to play aggressive, and this tank defeats the purpose of playing aggressive. But we'll see what we can do here. We are on Normandy, which is not a great map for any tank destroyer because it's a big hill, and obviously you don't want to really work a hill in a tank that doesn't have gun depression or armor. But we'll see. We have the enemy T100 LT. I just sit here. This is the pretty basic sitting spot for a vehicle like this, and we fire an HE at the Kron. Yep, there he goes. 600 damage. And we didn't even get spotted. That Kron probably doesn't even know what hit him. But that's the funny part about the 183. You don't even need to pen your shots to deal any damage. You can just fire an HE shell and whip out 600. I mean, what the heck? That's so stupid. So, let's see. Is that T100 going to poke it again? And T100 does poke it. There you go. 933 health off of his tank. Look at that. I just ruined that player's game. To be fair, that was quite the aggressive overpoke, but still, his game is over. So, we reload again. And in 5 seconds, I'll have another shot. So, we'll see what happens here. We have the 50B, we have the 4005. I mean, this is a pretty good position right here because I think the enemy team will, at some point, try to push through this corner. In fact, maybe more realistically, I can help out with the Caro and stuff over here. Let's see. We got the Kron. Kron gets shot by the T100. And I'm going to move up myself. Hopefully I don't get spotted. No, I do not. Hello, Mr. Kron. How are you doing? Well, I can tell you you're not going to be doing very well. See ya. Oh no, you shot me and lit me on fire. Anyway, I could have fixed my fuel tanks there. I just pressed the wrong button. But it doesn't really matter. The game's already a win. I've already nuked a couple people. In 5 seconds, we'll have another shell. We have the 50B right over here. And the 183 shot, which means I should realistically be able to just push right on down, aim it on the 50B with the high explosive, and see ya, 1,070 damage later, he's dead. And that puts us up to, I don't know exactly how much damage, but 3,300. I mean, the tank's stupid. It really is. You can't name another tank that could have done what I did in this game, you know, the way I did. Like, yeah, you can name an E4 and say, oh, I could have frontlined in the E4 and done maybe more damage, but it doesn't take away from the fact what I did in this battle was really, really stupid. I sat in one bush, nuked a T100 LT, shot a Kron with HE, and did 1,600. And then jumped off a cliff and shot a 50B for 1,000. And there you go. That's 3,400 damage. I don't know, man. I think right now the 183 it's too strong. The tank needs some sort of nerf on either its camo values, its armor, or its accuracy, instead of buffing the accuracy, which Wargaming has done multiple games now. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the 183. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I don't know. I just think that the vehicle needs a nerf. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.